Hannah, consumer prices rose faster in 2021 than they had in any other period since 1982. While more inflation means higher prices, some businesses are looking to avoid scaring off their customers. For example, shrinkflation, a fancy word for downsizing, happens when companies reduce the size or quantity of their products while still charging the same price, or even more. In fact, Domino's Pizza, for example, plans to reduce its chicken wings, the $7.99 deal, from 10 to 8 wings. But Domino's is not the only company looking at this. Joining us now is Chris Markowski. This is not a new tactic, Chris, at all. So why are we talking about it now?
No, it's not new, and especially if you take a look today, you had the producer price index came in, and that was running at 10% over the course of the year. Businesses are trying to do everything and anything that they can to stay profitable. That's what they're supposed to do. Some people might find this a little bit sneaky, and I quite frankly, I'd rather them keep the size of the packages the same rather than handle shrinkflation and charge more if that's what they need to do. But companies are going to do what they can to keep themselves afloat.
Now, what other shrinkflation examples are shoppers noticing in the grocery store recently?
I don't know about you, Ed. It's not just in the stores, but some of my favorite restaurants that I've gone to for years, I've noticed that the salad, the Greek salad that used to be this big, all of a sudden is half the size that it was before. I've actually talked to some bartenders where the pours are getting a little bit smaller at certain places. So I think that this is happening everywhere.
All right, so are companies using this tactic more frequently now, or are consumers just noticing now because the nation is focusing on current state of inflation, or we're all watching our grocery bills skyrocket?
Well, everybody's watching their bills. That was one of the biggest parts of the consumer price index, is that food inflation is about 15%. It's the issue we have with inflation right now is, again, they're telling us that it's around 7%. It's my belief that it's over 10, quite frankly. I think that the numbers are wrong. I look at inflation and stuff that you have to use every single day, stuff that you need to survive on, and that's really hitting people. And I think that in today's day and age with social media, somebody might notice a size difference from one product to another, and they might get it out there and it might go a little bit more viral. But overall, there's a reason why this is the number one concern for the country. It's not COVID by polls, it's inflation.
Wouldn't you say this is a double-edged sword? Because let's say, for example, that Greek salad. You love going to that restaurant because it used to be a massive Greek salad. Now it's half. The price hasn't changed. Do you feel like that restaurant deserves your business, although they're just trying to stay afloat?
But listen, I'm a businessman too, and most of my clients are small business owners around the country. They're doing what they can to survive. I'm sure you've encountered as well. You go to a restaurant, and the restaurant might be packed, and you're like, where are all the waiters? They can't even staff this place, and you have to be a little bit more patient because of this. But I do get it. I do understand. I know what the costs are involved in running some of these places, and quite frankly, it's tough on small businesses.
So my question is, though, are they gambling, though, with the fact that customers might look to alternatives since these companies are no longer delivering the product that the customer once knew would come?
Oh, there's no doubt it's a gamble, but again, you have to try to stay afloat. And when it comes to small business owners out there that have got to pay the bills and they've got to pay the rent and they've got to pay their utilities, which have all gone up as well outside of rent, they're going to do what they need to do to survive. And so if it bothers some people, I guess they're going to have to, take their punches when it comes to that.
Let's say the average consumer isn't like me and you. We don't notice the size of our salads. Do they realize that they're getting duped, or is this something that businesses can get away with without taking too much of a risk?
It's a good question. Again, I'm in a different industry, but I said I've got a lot of clients in these businesses, and I think, quite frankly, you've got good small business owners out there that are going to level with their customers and tell them this is what the scenario is and this is what we have to deal with. I think, again, everybody can be a critical thinker and they can see what they're paying at the grocery store. If you think it's, these other places and other businesses are not getting hit by this, they are.
So that actually brings me to my next question. So some companies, such as Tillamook Ice Cream, admitted to reducing carton sizes versus increasing price per carton. Now, does it change consumer perception when the manufacturers are transparent and honest about what they're doing, like you mentioned?
I think honesty is always the best policy in anything that you're going to handle. You don't want to come off as you're trying to dupe your customers. I think that most certainly is the wrong way to go, and to build up some animosity or some bad blood between, the business owner and the customer. So the fact that they're telling everybody this is what we need to do based upon the situation, I applaud that.
Now, I'll leave you with this. If you can, what are some tips you can give an educated shopper to make sure that they're doing the best, getting the most bang out of their buck? And what tips do you give to that business owner who wants to make sure they can keep the lights on?
For consumers, obviously, I would look to shop and try to get, obviously it's difficult now. We've also got a lot of empty shelves out there. Try to find the best deals that you possibly can, but also try to eliminate waste. That's a big thing too when it comes to food. You might want to start doing almost like the European model, try to shop for the day. That might work a lot better. For business owners, again, they're getting hit everywhere. They're getting hit everywhere when it comes to employees. They're getting everywhere when it comes to the cost. Like I said, the producer prices coming in. They're going to obviously try to cut the best deals that they possibly can, maybe in bulk. It might be a different situation for them.
All right, Chris. I hope that salad comes back, because that's upsetting me. Chris Markowski, Watchdog on Wall Street, host and president in Markowski Investments. Sir, thank you so much for being on our show. Hannah, I'll send it over to you.
Ken, great interview. I really understand shrinkflation so much more, honestly, with your questions. Great job.